This is the Fairbanks farm. This is the working end of the Fairbanks farm. And naturally, I forgot my microphone, so this is all ambient. And this little pond here, this little mill pond here, we own part of it. Although there's some debate about who actually owns the dam. So our pump here, what we do is we pump water from the pond to our gardens. And we have gardens, we have like a community garden. And there's our strainer. Homemade strainer. Yeehaw. And it works. It's all PVC fittings. It's a custom build.
Custom built by...
Crap. There we go.
Look at that.
It's just a nice PVC fitting. I think the only maintenance we really need to do is just replace the chicken wire, which has rotted out over the years. But other than that, the wood doesn't rot out because it stays underwater all the time.
Yeah.
So we'll just let that.
It was pressure treated to begin with.
Yeah. And now, step 2, have a heart attack. And
step 2 is we're going to wrap some tape around that.
Oh yeah, we'll wrap that.
Because otherwise you find a little mouse comes in there.
Oh yeah, otherwise the varmints get into the pipe. Our beautiful pond, lovely in the fall. That's where the pump head comes out of. We also own this wood lot. The entire property is 6 acres.
Is it 6? I thought it was
7 acres. It includes fields, a 19th century barn, and a forest, and a lake, a pond, a very wet meadow, as we like to call it, because in low water it gets really muddy.
Yep.
Low water, we have to dig for water.
I think we have enough water here, but we don't.
This is former board member George.
Hello, everyone.
George still likes to get his hands dirty. Or slimy, muddy.
Or both. Well, we just wrapped the end of this thing around. A couple of turns. That seems to get most of the varmints out of the pipe.
Yeah. But,
oops.
Watch your footing.
There's a hole there. There's a hole in the bucket. Alright, now do we want to bring this strainer back?
I'll bring it back later. We'll just let it air dry here for now. Make our way over to the pump. It's all homemade. Okay. And there are the tools of the trade for today. We're going to be draining the pump and filling it full of antifreeze. So exactly what do we need to do?
Well, we'll let it pump a little bit out. I don't know if it'll pump much because we seal that end up, but...
So essentially all we're doing...
Cleaning it on.
So essentially all we're doing is we're getting the water out of... Is there water in the tank or is that just air? Okay. So we're getting the water out of the storage tank in here. This is a demand system. It's all works on water pressure. You open up the spigot somewhere on the line. When the pressure drops, pump turns on, brings water out of the pond into the tank. So the critical part is what again?
Is to drain the system for any water that's hanging around. Otherwise, it'll freeze and break the piping.
And that little thing right there is our drain valve. Underneath the box.
Next, we probably ought to hook up the electric the vacuum cleaner actually, and blow this line out completely clear.
Right,
Drained it out by gravity. Now we should blow it out, just in case there's a pocket in there where the pipe isn't quite level. It forms a little catchment for extra water, and then that freezes. So we'll blow the line out with a vacuum cleaner, and then that's done.
All right, I'll go figure out what's going on with the electrics.
Yep.
Oh, the joys of modern self-reliance. The breaker's on. We got we got power going on the ground faults, but none of the plugs seem to work in the basement of the barn. Plugs work upstairs though. So it looks like I'll be doing some electrical work. But in the interim, fortunately, we have a lot of extension cords. And we know this plug works. All right, there's a special fitting here, right?
It's called a gizmo.
Some pipe fitting, PVC fitting, and a lot of duct tape. What we're doing is blowing the line out. All of these lines here, they'll just gravity feed out. And one of them I buried runs down to the far end of the gardens there. We got some raised beds. And what we do is we rent all of this garden space. This was all farmland at one time. And it's backs up against a river behind there, so it gets plenty of water. And part of the deal is it's free water. If you rent one of our garden spaces, what are they, about 20 by 40?
20 by 20.
Yeah, 20 by 20 foot plots all along here. Some of these are grown in now because one of our gardeners left. A couple of our gardeners left from the pandemic. And but we've got a whole bunch of other gardeners here, and they do pretty good. We've had to put up an electric fence around it because it brings in deer and other megafauna. All right, now what are we doing?
We're going to undo this little clamp here.
Shouldn't we use a screwdriver?
You could, sure.
Whatever works.
Yeah. That's my attitude.
Try everything, and when it fails, cut it off.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just a what is this? A pressure sensor.
Yep. Pressure sensor.
So what do we got? Water. Where's this coming from?
This is from the tank.
Yeah.
Tank down there up to here, which is where it pressurizes.
Yeah.
With the pump, which is right here.
And this just senses the pressure, and this is the switch that turns the pump on and off.
Yep, exactly. Now we got a drain down on the bottom here.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Did I get it?
Is it drain?
Yeah, I did. Let that drain for half a minute. Then we'll take this off and we'll put the antifreeze in.
Yeah.
Actually, we can get this off now.
So the antifreeze then goes into the pump body, right?
Yes.
It doesn't actually go into the motor or anything.
No.
And we don't put any antifreeze in this line to here. It's all just air dry.
Yep.
And there's no antifreeze in here.
No, it's been pumped out.
Or this. It's just the pump body.
Yep. Why did I do that? I have to take this bigger one out.
Well, it's pressure release. It's just a little.
Yeah, it's just another little thing, and I was turning the wrong one. Therefore, when it turns on in the spring, we get a geyser. We can have a geyser. This whole arrangement is, I think it's 5 or maybe even 6 years old.
Yeah. Works good.
And it's done marvelously well.
How's that tank looking? I see some surface rust on it.
This is probably from water dripping out of the thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I think it's a stain.
So yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh,
That's
there,
just
yeah. That's surface probably.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure is that rust. Yeah,
That's
rust.
rust.
So
It'll
then we
eventually-
get this. We got this air doohickey here. These nipples.
Yep.
So that's what for pressurizing the tank.
Yeah.
We have
pressurized at 40 pounds per square inch.
We haven't pressurized it like forever.
Yeah, it stays nice.
Yeah. So I guess if it loses pressure somewhere along the lines, that's just where we repressurize it.
Yeah. The pressure would be a leak in the tank or a leak in.
That's sure it's still running.
It's pretty much stopped, so we can pour the antifreeze in.
So the water that's draining out of it now, is it draining out of the pump body?
It is.
Okay.
And I'm going to shut that off because otherwise, when we pour the
Antifreeze it's going to go right through it.
It'll leak out all over the place. I don't get why that's still flowing.
There's a lot of water in here.
Down underneath there's that.
Is it on? It's open.
It's open, so spin it. I think.
No, you turn it off.
Yeah, I turn it off.
Right.
I don't
No,
think.
we want to leave it open for the winter, don't we?
Nah, I shut it off because again the animals are.
Oh, okay. It's an open valve. Then.
It's an open
Okay.
valve. Yeah.
Okay, it's off.
Just turn it sideways. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think that's why it was leaking out of here.
No.
Why it was still leaking.
Pour a little antifreeze in there, see if the antifreeze leaks out.
Yeah.
Then we just turn it on.
I think there's antifreeze coming out of there now, so I think I'll just shut this thing off.
Yeah, the antifreeze will mix with the water and it'll be fine.
Turn it very tight. This, by the way, this whole thing comes off.
Yep.
If you need to get at it.
Is it,
There's a clip there,
oh, I see the clip down there.
and one on there on this side.
So we just pulled, is it like a, oh, it's just a bolt through a,
Yeah, through a.
like a little grommet.
Well, it's kind of like these things, I think. So
Okay, I get you.
something like these.
So we just pull the bolts
pull the
and
bolt and this whole.
pops up.
Yeah, you have to disconnect this, of course,
Yeah.
and that, but the whole thing comes. Then this cage comes off. It's gonna take the whole quart
Looks good.
or a gallon.
It also means there's not a lot of water in there.
No. There.
Oh, it's bubbling out of here.
Okay, good.
And then we just put this back in.
Yep. How easy is that?
Then it's winterized.
It's winterized, now we can put the top back on it.
Yeah.
I made this thing extra sturdy, you know why?
Why?
Because I figured Lynn would land on it someday.
Oh, yeah. They've come close. You got the bolts?
I do. Stainless steel.